All right, can you guys hear me now? Someone give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Perfect. All right, we are going to go ahead and get started with the post-game press conference with Coach Pingeton. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach and then open it up to questions. So with that, you can take it away, Coach.
Well, obviously a pretty tough shooting night for us. We had more shot attempts than they did. I thought we did a decent job on the boards. One of their strengths is their offensive rebounding. And we did a good job there. Too many turnovers. I thought in the second half we made the adjustment. We definitely had some miscues on the defensive end. I mean, typically you'd be okay with around 70 points, but man, we couldn't throw it in the ocean tonight. I felt like in that first half we were settling for way too many threes. We talked a lot going into the game about driving those closeouts. But we've got to get a better feel when you're going 2 and 3 and 4 possessions in a row with a one pass shooting the three ball that's not falling for you. We've just got to have better awareness from that standpoint. Again, I think it's going to be hard to win games in the SEC shooting 37%. We've got so much firepower that, this isn't one of the – I didn't anticipate this to be the issue tonight. That's for sure. I thought Bama did a great job of switching up their defense, man in zone. We got way too stagnant. We didn't have ball movement. We didn't have player movement. We stood around. We watched the ball quite a bit, and you're going to have a hard time winning games like that.
Colin O'Brien from the Jeff City News Tribune, you're up first. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach, what kind of adjustments did you guys try to make after Alabama shut off that transition scoring?
After what? I'm sorry.
After they shut off the transition scoring, started getting back better.
Yeah, we talked a lot about being inside out. We really wanted to be mindful of not settling for those perimeter shots, and I just didn't think we did a very good job of attacking their zone. I felt like it was very stagnant. That's not our zone offense. We're supposed to pass, cut through, distort, and we didn't do a very good job of that. But end of the day, we had some pretty good looks. I mean, even though we were pretty stagnant offensively, we had some pretty darn good looks at the rim that we didn't connect on. And so, again, just a really, really tough night offensively for us.
Eric Blum from the Tribune, go ahead.
Hey, Robin. I know it's a team thing, but I don't think Haley Frank had a shot attempt in the first half, and then she comes right out and scores, I think, your first bucket of the second half. I mean, what did you see from her game, and how much of that was just Jasmine Walker playing well defensively?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think, one thing, we want Haley to do is assert herself a little bit more. She's such an unselfish player. And within our motion, just that communication on getting some double staggers and some flares, and just that we need that voice out there on the court. We need to continue to find ways to get her looks. And I thought, she came out of the gates. We ran a couple plays for her. Actually, the first play of the game was for Frankie. We know what a great shooter is. We want the ball in her hands. Part of it, people know she's shooting 70% from the field, right? They're not going to give up a lot of clean looks. Part of it, so we can maybe be a little bit more assertive. And I think part of it, we got to do a better job of finding ways to create her more scoring opportunities.
Natalie Jones, KMIZ, go ahead.
You just talked about, obviously, things getting stagnant, a lot of ball watching. What do you feel like is the first way to, go and fix that before you meet Arkansas?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to practice, our practice habits. I'm coming back from Christmas. We didn't have very good practices yesterday. We kind of regrouped, had a really good day yesterday, had a good shoot around today, but I just think you play like you practice, and we've, that's always a hard time. And especially for us, I mean, we went from quarantine to 4 games to Christmas break, and we didn't have our legs, and we were winded. Conditioning the last couple days just kind of surprised me how where we're at from a conditioning standpoint. But you gotta embrace practice. It's not easy. It's not fun. There's nothing sexy about it, but it's essential. And I'm a true believer. You play like you practice, and so somehow, some way, we've got to step up and embrace that. Now, unfortunately, we'll have to take tomorrow off because of NCAA rules, and I get all that, and that's probably good. And we'll come back on Saturday. You know, with the SEC schedule, you get into a pretty good routine, and there's not a lot of opportunities to practice in there. But yeah, I believe in this team. It's a marathon, not a sprint. We got a lot of talent. I said before, we got to put the pieces together. We played a very good Alabama team, veteran team, experienced team, and we're just not a finely oiled machine yet. We got work to do.
Colin O'Brien.
Coach, this is probably the least efficient day we've seen from Day in a Mizzou uniform. What did Alabama do to make it tough for her inside?
I thought she had some good looks. I felt like she faded a little bit. They did a good job pushing her a little bit away from the block. I thought in the first half, she settled for some mid-range jump shots, and I got a lot of confidence in those. But on days when you're not shooting the ball particularly well, I think it's so important to, get to the rim. She can get to the rim off the bounce or reestablish deeper on the block for some better looks. And, I think her counter moves have got to be a little bit stronger and more explosive, but she'll get there. Again, she doesn't have a lot of games under her belt. She's a very, very talented player. She'll learn from this and be better for us moving on.
Eric Blum.
Robin, I know it's not a large conference sample size. It's obviously your conference opener. I know you said a few times in this stretch last year, diamonds were formed in the fires. Is your expectations of the team so much higher now than they were last year? So this could still feel like a disappointment today, as opposed to
absolutely, yeah. I mean, yeah, we're so much further ahead than we were, last year at this time, and I got a lot of confidence in these girls. But again, I think there's got to be that balance. We haven't practiced a lot as a team. And I'm not making excuses. I don't believe in excuses. But the bottom line is, the fact of the matter is that, we were in quarantine for a week and a half. And then we come out and play 4 games, and I felt like we were starting to build a little bit of rhythm. Kids were kind of getting into the flow a little bit, and then you go on Christmas break. Now, could have we kept them here for Christmas break? Absolutely. No doubt about it. But I think where we're at right now and everything that's going on, I think that family time is really important. I don't regret it at all. I'm glad they got a break. It's been a lot emotionally, mentally. And, we didn't come back and do what we needed to do in practice. But this is a team that there's a lot of talent there. We just got to put the pieces together.
Colin O'Brien.
Robin, this might be a silly question because the TV replay showed you winking at Christy, but what happened at the start of the first quarter? Or second quarter, sorry.
Was that the technical? With the technical?
Yes.
I guess that the officials got an email in regards to really making sure they follow protocol with our mask being up. I felt like I've been pretty conscientious. Sometimes you pull it down to say something and got warned for it. I thought she was coming over to tee me up. She said it was a warning. I felt like there had been a couple things leading up to that when that just seemed a little frustrating. But end of the day, they're doing what they need to do. They've got things that they need to make sure they mandate and follow through on, and they're just trying to keep everybody safe, right? They're at the end of the day, they're trying to keep everybody safe. They're trying to keep us to be able to play basketball, and I get that. I just said I wish that, maybe we could have had that conversation before the game and just let us know, because I didn't get the email. I might have missed it, but I didn't get the email. But, regardless, it is what it is, and I appreciate what those officials are doing for us, and we can't play the game without them, so I got to be better in that area.
Okay, that'll do it for today. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Happy New Year.